Hey, this is John, Vintage Fisherman. This is going to be a quick little video, but this is that Ambassador I built out of. It was a C3 and I put C4 end caps on it. Nice custom handle. It's a beautiful little reel. Fished really well. Fished with it last weekend. But see how it's spooling the line up? It's coning it. I'll show you how to fix that real quick. Take this end cap off. You don't even have to take the whole reel apart. When I put this reel together, this spool of line came off the original reel, and it didn't have the shims. I'll show you what I'm talking about. There's some shims out here on the spool. That's pushing the spool that way. You can almost look at it and see it's not centered well. So we're going to take this off. Don't worry about that. Just leave that on there. You see this little black cap down in here. There's that. They put that on from the factory to hold the shims. If the reel needs shims, it gets that. Well, we don't need shims. We've determined that part. So we're going to stab myself in the finger and get this. God, off to a great start this morning, John. You got to take this little cog gear off, so don't lose your snap ring. Pull the cog gear, pull the black cap, and you don't need any of these shims. When it's coning up like that, just take these out. These will go in my spare parts bin. There was 2 shims in there. It didn't need any, so we'll go ahead and put that cog gear back in. This reel fished super. I mean, it was just, other than coning the line up, I had a great time fishing with it. The drag is good on it. I think we brought a couple bluefish up with it. Nothing of any major importance, but it's still fun, you know? It's fishing. So, we got to get it all lined back up. I'm not going to be able to do this the way I normally do it because I can't get my finger in there to hold that down. So and it should, I may have to, no, it's jacked up. So here's what we'll do. I'll concede and do it the way it's supposed to be done. Take this end off. I've got line on. I just had to actually had to re-spool this reel just now. It was that's when I noticed it was coning, because I hadn't really taken it much off of it on the pier, maybe 30 yards or something. I didn't fight fish very far, and that's when I just now noticed that it's coning the line. I was like, that's not good. So I'll take the spool out. I've got it hooked up under the reel foot. That's how I store my reels. Oop. Whoops. Now I have Boca bearings in this thing. This line's going to get unruly, so I'm just going to have to just kind of set it on itself like that. So let's put this bad boy back together. So this goes on like that. You know, this reel wasn't supposed to exist. I took a C3 with a anti-reverse pawl, or dog if you want to call it that, and turned into an instant anti-reverse reel. So it wasn't supposed to exist. I had to do a little bit of work to make that happen. So, but it, like I said, it fished so good. I didn't have any problems with it. I'm having more problems trying to get it together than I had with it fishing, trust me. I try to pull that down, but for some reason it's trying to pop out of my fingers. Maybe if I get a hold of it a little bit lower with my finger. Yeah, well, still trying to pop that thing out of there. I don't know why it's doing that. I could hold it there just for a second, and I'm not going to be able to, though. Wow. How'd I get it together before? Oh, me. All right. Let's do this. That has to go right back here. Daggone, John. Come on, man. That has to go behind those springs. That's where you have problems putting these together. Is that has to go behind those springs. Goes like that. I'm going to try to hold it there. Take my screwdriver. Push that down. Yeah, now it's working properly. Now get those screws back in for it. Tries to pop back apart. But spent 2 days on the pier with this reel and caught a lot of our bait fish with it. Had a couple blues come along, hit my bait rigs, and fun stuff. But it held up well. It wasn't nothing pretty to start out with. Somebody was hard on that reel, that old C3. So I wasn't too worried about jacking it up to make a big change to it. I had to machine the sleeve that goes through the instant anti-reverse so that old drag, star drag, would fit. It was too thick. It was made for the little plastic bushing that goes in there, not for the steel sleeve. So all around improving this reel significantly. Now before you put this together, make sure you close those centrifugal weights up. I'm going to try to do this without making a mess with the line here. Let's see if we can't feed the line through the... Let's just do it like this for now. Take the line up through there. Oops, I got the line behind the spool. That's not good. I actually had that happen on the pier, not with this reel, with another reel over the weekend. That's very, very odd that one of my reels would, and it was an expensive reel that did that. And I'm running the right size line on it, so I really don't know why it decided to do that. So I've got to take a look at that reel too before I go back. Why isn't that coming out of there? Come on. There we go. Just don't make sure your line don't go behind the spool. Okay. All right. So we can put those thumb wheels back on there. I should pull this line off, but what I'll do is next time I get to the coast, I'll make a long cast and crank it back in. It will take that cone out of it. It'll be okay is what I'm trying to say. Don't get excited. So now, let's get this back through there. The reason why I had to re-spool this reel is I made a mistake despooling it to clean it. And ended up backlashing the line on it. So it happens, you know. So we'll crank that down. And this reel will go back on its rod and go into storage. Let's see if it line, yeah, the bait clicker's working. So what I do to store these reels, well, first off, let's get the spool adjusted. Yeah, it's way off. It looks so centered now, it's perfect. I always back the drag all the way off. See, it's just, there's no drag. And set your bait clicker. That'll hold the line tight onto the reel. You don't have to worry about it despooling on you. And it doesn't flatten out your drag washers. That has brand new HT100s in there. Don't want to mess those guys up. Not HT100. Smooth drag, Carbon Tex. So there's that. Here's the rod. Don't laugh. Oops. It's hard to move a rod around in here. It's not a lot of room. It's a ugly stick, tiger stick. This is what I use for bait because you can't destroy these things, and they're super light. It's called the Tiger Light, actually. It's a super light reel, a rod. Got a trigger guard or trigger on it for casting. Works good for bait. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna reel. I always hook the line onto the rod, which also keeps everything from going everywhere. Hang on just a second. I know you can hear that bait clicker. Nice and loud. I like those bait clickers. Everything in here is falling. I don't have much room to work with in this corner of the garage here. And yeah, let me just keep whacking the rod against something. That's how I put the line around the rod with a loop knot. So when I get ready to use this, I just actually cut it right there and throw that little piece in the trash, and I can just thread it through my eyes. This is John Vinish Fisherman. That's how you fix a coning situation where it's not lining on good, or putting the line back on good on Ambassador. If it's got these shims in there, you got to take them out. Didn't need them on that one. Thanks for watching.